I'm HP and today I'm going to talk about 80s rock pop ballad, and before I talk too much, I start playing and then you hear what I mean. Something like this. Let's first talk about the chord progression which is happening during the song. You might have noticed it's a little bit more complex. It starts in G major. It's a G major add 9 chord. Then it goes to E minor 9. Something like this, or it could also be something like this. This is the 9 here which you're grabbing in the 4th fret. Next chord will be C add 9, and D add 9. In this case, you can just move up the C to the 3rd fret. And it don't have to be exactly these chords, but you need to understand the progression. So this is G major. This is 1, 6 to 4 to 5. So when we analyze this, we come to the finding. Oh wow. This is in G major, so we have to play the G major scale. So which scale can we use? We don't want to take it too much into advanced stuff, and it doesn't make sense here because you're pretty fine when you just work with the G major scale. And I really love to use the one in this position here. This is the G, 10th fret. But basically, I play in the upper position here on the top 3 strings. What also makes sense is when you can play the G major scale on one string as on the E string or on the B string. That you can switch between those 2 strings. And I think you don't need to really know much more about theory there, because the first part is more a melodic part, and there the expression, the tone is more important than anything else. I'm going to talk about it afterwards. Now the second part, you have noticed it switches to E minor and then goes to C. It's something like this. Something like this, or whatever you want to do. You can also work with the power chords. But the main thing is, since we're focusing more on the soloing, we need to analyze what's going on. Now we switch to E minor. E minor is basically the same notes as G major, but you look it different because the root note is not the G anymore, it's the E. So, and there you can play more pentatonic stuff, which you already know in E minor pentatonics here in the upper position. Or whatever comes to your mind. What also is great is when you play E minor. Stuff like this works pretty well. I'm gonna go to this in detail afterwards. But first we just need to understand what's going on. This comes, I think, twice. And then it goes to A minor, to D. And then we come back to the first part. Now, let's first talk about the sound. Of course, high gain distortion, a lot of delay set on the beat of the song, which is, I think, 80 BPM. Now here comes a trick. Now we want to play melodic. We have a lot of side effects, and we work with those side effects. When you have so much delay, of course, it's very important that you can control your tone, and, which is more important, that you really work with the delay. That means when you stop the note, see, there comes the note behind, you need to stop on time. Otherwise, what it follows up with the delay is not on timing. So really have to be precise on timing. That you really hear the beat, and this refers to the track. See, I stopped exactly on the beat. So this little melody. What I also do, I really work with harmonics, which is very cool here. And if you keep the theme simple, you need to have certain variations in it, and you do that with your expression. In this case, with harmonics, or the way you have your delay coming, or also with your wah. Or with the wah, you can control a little bit that the tone moves into the overtones. See? Hold it. Now it goes into the overtones. And then you stop on the beat, and this way you create a really great tension. What is also great, when you have the final note of this phrase as an example, that you start with vibrato slow, and then you accelerate till the point where you release it. And this gives you more tension than usual. Harmonic, keep it breathing. Now you've seen that I created a lot of tension just with this kind of expression, with the effects, with the wah, with the delay and stuff like that. And I don't really do a lot of different notes here. And it's not necessary, and it's not really cool on a major part of a track, because there you have to have the long notes, and you can keep it singing, let it breathing, also stop playing in between. Let's see that. See, now keep the overtone. Doesn't disturb. And this way you really don't need to play much, just play around this position. You can move a little bit around the melody lines, or you can even go, I don't know, move a little bit around the scale. Wait, I need to go a bit in the camera. Yeah, more or less something like this. Now, we come to the second part. Oh, I forgot to set a marker. Shit. Okay, I do that afterwards. Now in the second part, we can really let it run a little bit. Now, how do we create tension there? Of course, we go on the high bendings. This one works pretty well in a 12 and then bending on a 40. What is also cool, wait, I need to go back in a good position here. Yeah, that I can show you that. And also this one here in the 7. Now you hear what I play without sound, there's a lot of noise on it. That doesn't matter. Why? Because I really tried it once. With today's software you can do anything with audio files. I cut out all the noise just to see what happens, and it didn't sound good at all anymore. There was, all emotions were gone. So if you have this noise and this dirt in, that doesn't matter at all. So this gives you a more relaxed feeling, because then you really can go for this bending. And now when you play in the sound, where I want to set the mark now. Hold on. I forgot that. So here's the mark. Oh, I think I went over it. Or it's coming now. Works great, and I played exactly the same thing like before. Hear the dirt, it didn't disturb at all. Now when you add the wah, it's a little bit difficult for me to play wah in this position. You should see how I'm sitting here. It's totally uncomfortable. Holy moly. So now I found a good position. Yeah, now you really can keep it simple. And now comes a trick. If you want to make it sound sophisticated, you need at least one run. So let's do that run. But where shall we do it? Of course, at the end of the phrase. Oh, I think I need to set the marker now. Sorry, I'm not really prepared today. Well, that doesn't really matter. So let's go there. Good, so now let's make this run. Now it comes, so we go here. Now, in this case, I would do a simple 16-note run here. When it switched to A minor, just play A minor Dorian scale. And stop here on the A again, because this is the 5th of the D as well. And it's playing with palm muted technique. So let's do it again. Second part. Good, so now let's put the things together. Pay attention to your expression, work with the delay and the sound and the overtone. In the first part, in the major part, you don't need to play fast. If you play too fast stuff and it's not really working, make those long notes, try to work with the expression. Second part, you can really go a little bit more into intensity. If you want, you can add kind of licks there or more speed stuff, but at least stop or end up one chorus with a run at the end as showed, and then we have the whole thing complete. That's really cool, and that gives you that 80s effect if you love that one. So that's how it sounds more or less. Let it breathe. See how that works? You don't need to do a lot, but work with the intensity and expression. Yes, stuff like that. And you can keep it easy or keep it complex, but better play it simple, but really with a sophisticated feeling, and that should work pretty well. And as said, work with expression. And better play less notes than too many notes. That's what I'm always saying. I myself need to teach myself to play more notes, because I tend to use to play too less notes, but sometimes, yeah, stuff like that, especially on tracks like this. Any kind of major track is a little bit tricky because they're mostly very open, and you have the tendency to start to fill it up with too many notes. But the trick is, don't do it. You can do it on any minor part, and that's why we have the second part. The minor part is there where you can really freak out, but on the first part, don't do it too much. Just make these little gimmicks, make them really sophisticated, and then you have the great effect, and then you can go in this case in the second part and really beat it out, and then come back to the more distinguished way of playing. And that's the trick here. So enjoy it and see you next time.